A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant political development, Ukraine is witnessing its first major anti-government protests since the onset of the Russian invasion in 2022. These protests have been sparked by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's controversial anti-corruption policies, which have drawn ire not only from the Ukrainian populace, but also from international allies. The European Union, once a steadfast supporter of Ukraine, announced on Friday that it would be withholding €1.5 billion, approximately $2.7 billion, from a larger fund of €4.5 billion earmarked for Ukraine, contingent on the country's adherence to good governance standards. This decision marks a pivotal moment in Ukraine's ongoing struggle to maintain international support amidst the war with Russia. The EU's funding decision is not irreversible. It can be reinstated if Ukraine meets specific benchmarks related to governance and anti-corruption measures. However, the implications of this aid cut are profound, particularly for President Zelensky, who has relied heavily on European financial support to address the fiscal gaps left by the previous U.S. administration's withdrawal of support for Ukraine's war efforts. The withholding of funds signals a shift in the EU's approach, indicating a readiness to critique Zelensky's domestic policies while the country remains embroiled in conflict. Zelensky has yet to publicly address the aid cut, but it undoubtedly represents a setback for his administration. The protests, which erupted in Kharkiv, were triggered by a legislative move that sought to strip independence from two key anti-corruption agencies, the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine and the Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office. These agencies have been pivotal in investigating corruption within the ranks of Zelensky's government, including cases involving high-profile officials. In a surprising turn of events, following public outcry and international condemnation, Zelensky reversed his earlier decision and submitted a bill to restore the independence of these agencies. While this move quelled immediate protests, it failed to prevent the EU's decision to cut aid, which was based on long-standing guidelines regarding governance and anti-corruption measures. James Wasserstrom, an American expert on anti-corruption, noted that the perception of Zelensky's leadership is waning among international donors, expressing that the luster is definitely coming off his wartime leadership. The European Union had established the Ukraine facility last year, pledging €50 billion over 3 years to aid in the country's recovery from the war and to assist in its aspirations for EU membership. However, Ukraine's failure to meet critical benchmarks, including the appointment of judges to a specialized anti-corruption court, has raised concerns among EU leaders. This court is essential for adjudicating cases brought forth by the very agencies whose independence Zelensky attempted to undermine. Critics within Ukraine have voiced concerns over the increasing concentration of power in Zelensky's administration, particularly under martial law. Investigations have extended to journalists, activists, and opposition figures, leading to accusations of authoritarianism. The administration's decision to replace elected officials with military administrators in various regions has further fueled these criticisms, creating a divide among foreign allies regarding the necessity and implications of such measures. Among the notable foreign leaders expressing concern over Zelensky's policies is British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who directly addressed the president regarding the treatment of the anti-corruption agencies. The situation is further complicated by ongoing investigations into senior officials within Zelensky's government, such as former Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Chernyshov, who faces corruption charges related to real estate dealings. Chernyshov has publicly dismissed the allegations as a smear campaign, but the case has exacerbated tensions between the Zelensky administration and anti-corruption investigators. The European Commission has emphasized that Ukraine's request for disbursement in June came despite failing to fulfill 3 out of 16 established benchmarks, underscoring the challenges the country faces in securing ongoing financial support. As the situation unfolds, the relationship between Ukraine and its Western allies remains precarious, with the outcome of these protests and policy decisions likely to have lasting implications for the country's future. In conclusion, the recent developments in Ukraine highlight the delicate balance between domestic governance and international support during wartime. As President Zelensky navigates the complexities of anti-corruption efforts and public sentiment, The eyes of the world remain fixed on Ukraine, awaiting the next chapter in its ongoing struggle for sovereignty and reform. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.